Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well today. It's Carpo. It's Saturday, February 1st, 2013. 14, sorry. I basically am making this video to kind of summarize all the videos I've been making lately. I've made 7 or 8 probably videos that I wasn't aware of the file size and I couldn't upload it because I'm still limited to 100 megabytes. I guess by Comcast or whatever, but this is great because it really keeps me thinking, concentrating the thoughts, and I can kind of redo my videos. I used to do my videos every video I've done I erased a lot one time, but I've probably done like 1,500, and every one of them I've done, I just make it and post it. I don't edit them, I don't cut parts out of them, I don't proof watch them. I just make a video where I'm speaking my mind because I feel that that's where the truth is going to lie. In not my truth, not my words, but the truth of how I feel, my true feelings. I'm not editing my feelings. I'm not saying, oh, I shouldn't have said that. What comes out is what comes out. And I don't, if I don't like what a person's saying, then I just don't listen to them. It's that simple. And I don't have any say upon your life or anyone else's life, so therefore if a person doesn't like what I say, that's their problem. It's not mine. I try to, however, be courteous and respectful to people as much as I can, because I believe that through a world of tolerance and acceptance among all people, we can be as one, to an extent. And this is where I think the conflict or misinterpretation lies. Some people have misinterpreted, let's say, the way that I express myself as being maybe they'd hear me speak of tolerance, but then they'd hear me talk bad about Christians. In general, I try not to I try to promote tolerance anytime that it promotes tolerance, if that makes sense. In other words, if I see someone being persecuted, I cannot just tolerate that to happen, and so I speak my mind out against it. Often in the past I've spoken about things like government conspiracies or Monsanto or GMOs and stuff, and even in the past I did quite a few on the collapse of the system and New World Order and whatnot, and all that kind of stuff, and I've phased out of anything to do with that because I've realized that a fear-based relationship with the world is one where I'm going to be the one who suffers. In other words, if I concern myself with things that I cannot change and things that I cannot prove or understand, I realize that I have other things I can focus my time on. That being said, I've looked into a lot of the information on some of these conspiracies that I was, say, into from the time I was 20 or 18 until I was, in my early 30s. And realizing that many of the people who support these ideas are very outspoken and will not respond with any type of a rational comment or a discussion when somebody questions, their belief on something. It's almost become a fanaticism like religion in itself. And many people are starting to see this, that the alternate media has turned into a fanatical group of people, almost like Fox News. On the right wing, this is the opposite agenda. We've pushed so far away from the extreme of being lied to that we've accepted the other lies that we're being fed. And I'm not saying that everything's a lie. I'm not saying that these conspiracies don't exist. I'm just saying, let's take a minute, folks, and look back and see what we can control and what we can do. Now, me as an individual, I feel like I have a purpose to fulfill in my life, to do the best I can for myself and my family and those around me and try to help humanity, but at the same time I have to be outspoken on any injustice I see, on anyone who's being harmed by anyone else, and even if those injustices are due to ignorance, which most of them are. Most of the acts that occur in this world are not due to insanity, are not due to any type of an aggression based in anything more than false perceptions, misunderstanding about the world around you. And that's why many wars are fought. That's why most wars are fought. There are 2 reasons wars are fought in my mind. One is over ignorance and superstition. or religion. Basically people saying this person doesn't think like me, so we need to attack them to convert them. The other type of war is the war over resources, where a person believes that they're entitled to someone else's goods. And the war machine is what keeps the system running, so that's not a conspiracy, that's the reality. The fact is we can only have so many wars and destroy so many lives before we destroy ourselves. But that aside, I think that we do have to remember there are I made a video earlier, but I guess it was too large, I can't upload it, but I was talking about Lord Francis Bacon. He spoke about, he lived in, I believe, the late 1500s. He may be considered the founder of science and the modern-day Freemasonry. The whole idea behind science was trying to prove God through research. It was never to disprove God, as people tend to think it is, almost like there's a war between science and religion. The only war is on the side of the religious, who won't accept that there are scientific answers to many of the things we assumed were just God, and I wanted to explain it that way, as well as the scientists need to take a step back and realize that there's something bigger to the universe, and many of them do. So that's just generalizing people, but Francis Bacon wrote a book called The New Atlantis, and many believe that the idea of America was founded on this idea of the New Atlantis. It was a book written about people who went and prospered in a new land and started over, that this country was designed as a superpower. This country was designed with the idea in mind of staging a relationship for what the people might call the New World Order, but in reality was never intended to be a horrific thing. There are people always who want to take advantage of a plan and make it evil, but there are two different types of groups who are looking to create a one-world government. There are the ones who are looking to control everyone, and there are the ones who are looking to find common ground and generally bring people together. So remember that. Anytime people try to bring people together, people are going to assume that it's a conspiracy to control. It's always been that way. Whenever a large group believes in one thing, they tend to be more easily controlled. And so what do we do about that? Does that mean we can never come together as a species? Does that mean we can never prosper as a species and agree on everything? Because the minute we agree, we're becoming passive? It's a deep question, but you know, I've said before, I respect argument. You know, I at one time in my life, a few years back, said, you know, I'm going to stop arguing about things because it's a waste of my time and energy. Then I heard a good argument for argument by a philosopher who said that argument is the only thing that's ever got results. One person says A, the other person says B. They both want to prove the other person's wrong, so what do? Experiments. And they prove their point. One way or another, somebody's going to be right or wrong. The other person may continue to deny the evidence. But the fact is, as soon as that argument has been created and one person has proven himself through whatever it may be, other people can observe that and say, aha, these people have argued about this. And this is the result. And it'll be maybe duplicated over and over to where people can reference many different arguments and say, aha, well, this has always been the result. In that way, studying philosophy and history allows one to move forward with their life and see where others have made mistakes, not make the same mistakes. That's why history is important. So, among all this, there is an underlying unknown, or conspiracy, if you will, but I don't really consider it a conspiracy. It's more of you know, a lot of people speak about Satanists. You know, and I've never spoken about that because I know they exist and I know they have power. I know that they, you know, are infiltrated into our system, but there's nothing I can do about it personally, and it's not something that I am there and involved with. So I'm going to do what I can for what I know, and the people who directly I associate with, and hopefully, you know, that's why I don't really talk about Arabs or, you know, Muslims too much, because I'm not exposed to Muslims. It's just what I see on TV. So I'm going to get back to this. I'm running out of time on my thing, so I'll make this a two-parter for my Saturday thing. Peace.